One of the most widely used technologies that we've talked about in this set of introductory videos is MVC, or Model View Controller. It is very commonly used, from the smallest of applications to the very largest. Unlike even the other patterns we've looked at, MVC is technically an architectural pattern. So it doesn't deal with a little piece here or a little piece there, but really with the overall architecture of your application. It really deals with three main concerns that are common to just about every application out there. The model, which is the data part of your application. The view, which is the part that interacts with a customer. And the controller, which really pulls everything together. And key to this pattern is that we keep these three pieces kind of distinct from each other and separate. So when you Google the MVC on the internet, you're going to find that there are all sorts of examples of this. If you look for diagrams on MVC, you'll find a million of them. And if you really look at the details, you'll find that none of them are the same. In fact, a lot of them completely go against what MVC is. So I wanted to provide you some very basic rules that you're going to want to follow with MVC. The first is that the user, the customer, interacts with the view, and with the view only. That the view talks to the controller and back and forth. They can talk to each other. Okay. You may have multiple controllers, and so multiple controllers can talk to each other. And a controller can talk to a model. They can talk back and forth. But the last rule is there's not any other communication. So if you see a diagram of MVC where the view and the model talk to each other, that is incorrect, because they should never talk to each other. And what kind of happens sometimes is, because it's such a popular pattern out there, people start to kind of pigeonhole their own thoughts into this concept. And so that's why you find a lot of times that the data is erroneous. I've provided some great references here. I've looked through them and made sure that they really follow the pattern. The top one actually does a nice job of elaborating these rules, like I've put them up here. All of them do a good job of explaining it. And then just a few things to think about when it comes to getting to basic on this guy. I really want to see a program that implements the pattern exactly. Okay? And I'll push it back to you if I don't feel like it's implementing it exactly. Part of that is that it follows these rules here, and that each of the three concerns are separate from each other. They're what we call loosely coupled, but they're independent of each other. So if today I write a program that uses a graphical interface as my view, and next week I decide I want to change it to use a web-based interface, certainly I'm going to have to change the view to accommodate this change, but the controller and the model will not change. So let's look at the other alternative. If today I read a file in to populate data in my model, and tomorrow I want to use a relational database and go out and get the data from a database, while my model will change, my view and my controller will not. So do you see how they're independent of each other? And so I'm going to definitely look to make sure that all three of these concerns are independent within your program. So I hope that helps to give you a bit of an expectation of what I'm looking for with MVC.